Good afternoon and welcome back to Block City Shield. Today we have another exciting matchup with your Swampscott Big Blue going up against the Beverly Panthers. Once again, I'm Josh Harriman. I'm joined by my friend Joey. Joey, it definitely seems like it's going to be a very close game as Beverly and Swampscott have both seemed to be the powerhouse teams for their own town.
I will agree on there. It seems as if both have had extensive training and practices before the games and pre-matchup, actually. And it seems as if we're getting underway, Josh.
And with that, we're going down way into Swampscott territory. Over to LaGarnia. Over to Sauce. Brought back to Swampscott by Arendo. Whistle is blown, but it's going to be ignored. And Aaron Doan going to try and kick it out of the way, but brought over to Perry for the Panthers. Brought up over to Wilder. Over to O'Neal. O'Neal to Merritt. Merritt back to O'Neal. O'Neal trying to get it close, going wide, trying to find a shot. Gets blocked, and Olberg with the save. That is going to be Olberg's first of many saves of the game for today's game. As with the pass over to Croft. Taken away by Beverly over to Wilder. Wilder with an attempted pass over to Naglia. Over to Resinola. As ball goes out of play, the Panthers keep the ball. A heavy kick down to the other side of the field. Will Wilder be able to keep it in? Is successful. Passes it to his teammate. Going for a heavy kick down off the head of Kimbrough. Excuse me, that's actually going to be Pittman. Another kick going down to Lasrinola. And with that, Swampscott's going to have the ball passed over to Ramos. See, that's actually going to be Henry Ramos. Over to Sasson. Whistle is blown. Beverly has the ball. As the last game I announced, we were up against Saugus. And Beverly's going to kick the ball from the 25-yard line. Carrying out the kick is going to be number 21, Roberts. And with that, the ball goes wide, and it was actually Connor Sullivan for Beverly Panthers carrying out the kick. Still with that, 0-0, still a tied game. Olberg with the kick going down to midfield, going straight to Beverly. Fighting for the ball is Wilder. Wilder with the pass over to Silva. Whistle is blown. And it's going to be Swampscott's ball as Olberg retrieves it. It appears our outside clock doesn't seem to be on and working. Olberg with the gate going down to pass midfield. Saugus keeping it out with the pass over to Lercinola. Over to Silva. Silva, the attempted pass up to Sullivan, but Olberg, there's the stop. Olberg throwing it right out. Over to Croft. Croft with the pass over to Kimbrough. Kimbrough over to Shube. Shube back over to Croft. And with that, ball is going to be out on Beverly. Swampscott keeps the ball. And with that, it's going to be passed over to Arendono. Kicked away by Beverly. Spelios picks it up for Swampscott. Beverly with a heavy kick straight back to Spelios for Swampscott. Over to Kimbrough. Kimbrough over to Shub off the head of Roberts. Excuse me, that's actually going to be Baranxa. That goes off the head. Passed over, fighting for it back to Merritt. Ball goes out of bounds on Beverly. Swampscott has the ball. And with that, Beverly has the ball in Swampscott's own end, trying to get down to the goaltender. He's unsuccessful as it goes over to Kimbrough. Kimbrough over to Arendono. Great save made by Ramos. Poked away by O'Neill for Beverly. And with that, Beverly with a kick saved by Olberg.
That was a very close call there for Swampscott, as Beverly would have gotten their first goal of the game, seeing as how the speed and force with that kick was unmatched to anyone we've seen thus far.
And with that, Olberg with a heavy punt going past center field. Going over to Beverly. It's going to be over to Wilder. Wilder with a heavy kick, trying to get it past everybody to go towards the goal, but is picked up by Olberg. Olberg with the pass over to Croft for Swampscott. Croft with an attempt to pass failed as it goes to a Beverly contender. Whistle is blown. As whistle is on Saugus, Swampscott, as the whistle is on Beverly, Swampscott ball. And it's going to be Croft with the kick off the head of Shub over to Kimbrough. Kimbrough with the pass over to Shub, back over to Croft, over to Arendono. Whistle is blown off of Swampscott. Beverly has the ball. And with the throw in over to O'Neill, Arendono trying to get it back for Swampscott immediately. Met up with Kimbrough. Kimbrough gets it past the 50, but brought back to Beverly. Over to Roberts. Now down Larcinola. A good kick goes straight over to Croft. Over to Arendono. To Spelios. And with that, it's going to go back to Beverly over to Larcinola. Larcinola trying to find a pass. Whistle is blown. And I believe it is going to be on Beverly once again. Swampscott continues to have possession of the ball. And as we're a little over 8 minutes in, it's going to be Spelios with the kick over to Shub. Goes past Shub, but is picked up by Kimbrough. Kimbrough gets it taken away by Sullivan. Whistle is blown once again, but this time it's going to be on the Big Blues. Beverly keeps the ball. It's going to be Wilder with the far kick for Beverly. Spelios fighting for the ball. Goes out on Beverly. Swampscott has the ball in their own end. Over to Baranza. Goes all the way over. Whistle is blown. And as we got our clock back up and running on the outside, Olberg with the kick pass over to Croft. to Sawson. Whistle's blown. Swampscott gets the ball as it calls on Beverly. And it's going to be Arredondo with the ball. A good kick trying to get it over to Spelios. Gets poked away. And the pass over to Silva. Brought back to Swampscott by Rendono. Rendono with the ball over to Sawson. Over to Ramos. As it gets taken away by Beverly. Goes out on Beverly. Swampscott with the ball. Spelios with the throw-in. Try to find Sawson. Is successful. Back over to Rendono. Gets it stuck and lost. Gets kicked far down into Swampscott territory. Kicked over to Olberg. Olberg with possession of the ball. Finds Croft. Croft with the heavy kick to bring it downfield into Beverly territory. Sawson fighting for the ball. Goes to Beverly's tender. Whistle is blown, ignored. Beverly continues with the ball down into the Swampscott territory. Intended for Sullivan, doesn't seem to quite get there. As Spelios has the ball with the pass over to Kimbrough. A high kick. Spelios with the save. Over to Rendono. Spelios in a high kick up as it goes right outside of our window. Joey, if you had the chance, you could have caught that.
That was actually really scary.
I saw it coming. I thought it was going to go up on the roof by one of our cameras. That would have been a really expensive repair.
Would have been really bad as well.
With that, it's back underway. Beverly with the ball. And with that, it's going to be a save for Swampscott. Over to Rendono. Over to Shub. Gets poked off a body. Over back to Beverly. But Kimbo tries to steals it. And Beatty with the ball for Beverly. And with the pass, it's going to be Croft fighting for the ball. And it's going to be Pittman with the save. Well, with the steal. And it's going to be Kimbrough getting it out of there. Poked away by Beverly. It's a back and forth game right by the 50. As the pass is over to Perry. Over to Merritt. Merritt with the pass over to Silva. When the pass to O'Neal goes straight to Olberg, over to Croft. Over to Kimbrough, back to Croft. Croft with the pass over to Sawson. Sawson over to Shub. Can't find the open teammate. Gets taken away by Beverly. Shub with the fast feet over to Rendono. Rendono with the pass over to Croft. Over to Sawson. Sawson over to Spelios. Excuse me, that's actually going to be Bailey. Bailey with the pass over to Bellas, but now it's over to Spelios. Taken away by Beverly. Beverly with the heavy kick, trying to get it past Olberg, but can't. Beverly keeping the ball inside, trying to look for an open teammate. Can't. Bailey there with the stop. Kimbrough with the pass to get it out of there. Gets over to Larinola. Larinola with the pass over to Baragna. Over to O'Neal with that fighting for the ball down in their own end. A heavy kick goes off of Kimbrough. Olberg with the save. Anyway, with that, Croft with the ball for Swampscott. Goes off Beverly player, goes over to Shub. Shoot with attempted pass over to the teammate, gets over to Roberts or Beverly. And with that, it goes over to Silva. Over to Barakna. Barak with the pass over to Lercinola. Whistle is blown. Swampscott has the ball, and it's going to be Spelios with the kick for Swampscott. And with that one, attempt to pass over to Arendono, goes straight to Beverly. Taken away by Kimbrough. Back over to Arendono. And the bad pass over to Croft. Croft with the ball back over to Arendono. That's over to Spelios. Spelios with the feet, the fast feet, and it goes off of Beverly. Swampscott keeps possession of the ball. Swampscott has definitely shown aggressive offense today.
I'm going to agree with you, Josh. And they've shown some pretty good defense as well.
And that's actually going to go off of Swampscott. Beverly has the ball. It's going to be Roberts with the ball. With that, a great kick from Roberts, picked up by Oberg for Swampscott. Oberg kicking it down range over to Arendono and Kimbrough. Can't find them, gets over to Beverly. And that's O'Neal. Over to Perry. Back it over to Roberts. Roberts with the far kick. And it's going to be poked off by Oberg. And with that, I believe it's going to be a switch up for Beverly as new players come on the field as the old ones go off. And it's going to be, I believe it's going to be near a corner for corner kick for Beverly. It's just going to be a regular old throw-in, I believe. Beverly with the throw-in. And it's going to be Croft with the header to get it out of there. Ball goes out of play. Swampscott still has possession of the ball. And with that, now Beverly has a chance for a corner kick. The kick goes way farther than intended from the net. Swampscott has the ball. As we're approaching the 18th minute of this game, still a scoreless game, as Swampscott and Beverly have been at 0-0 with about 20 minutes left here. Excuse me, about like 22 minutes left here in the first half. It's going to be Croft with a heavy kick down to Sawson. With a little help from Arendono, goes out of place. Beverly has the ball. And with that, we're back on the way with us, with Beverly with the ball at the 50. Goes straight over to Spelios. Over to Kimbrough. Kimbrough over to Arendono. Arendono back over to over to Asipenko. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing that wrong. And with the save from Bailey to keep it away from Beverly. Goes out of play. Beverly has the ball in Swampscott's own end. And with that, attempted shot off the leg of Arendono, but Beverly still has possession of the ball. As a pass over to Gangi. An attempt to pass over to Connolly. As whistle is blown. It's going to be saved by Oberg. Goldberg with the kick. Going past, going straight over to Sawson. And it's going to go straight over to Sawson instead over to Arendono. A lot of fighting back and forth. Shub with the kick. Kimbrough fighting for the ball as it goes down into Saugus territory. Excuse me, Beverly. I am mispronouncing two competitive teams' names up. As Swampscott keeps the ball in Beverly's own end. Whistle is blown. Swampscott. I am messing up today.
It's all right. We all make mistakes sometimes.
And that Swampscott has the ball in Beverly's own end. There we go. The correct two team names for tonight. As Beverly has possession of the ball. Try to save from number 22. And with that, over to pass over to Aspienko. Excuse me, that's Asipenko. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. And with that, a heavy kick from Beverly goes off the head of Croft. Whistle is blown. Players still continuing. As with that, no whistle is called, but ball goes out of play. And I believe it's going to be another corner.
It will indeed be a corner kick.
And with this, Beverly with the second corner kick, going nowhere near the net, going farther actually away from it. As of that, it blocks off. And I believe Beverly will have another chance at a corner kick to make up from the one that they previously did. And with Beverly, another unsuccessful corner kick. Swampscott gets it out of there. Almost met up with Sawson, but gets it right back for Beverly. A high kick from Beverly. Going straight to Arendono. Going past the back line of defense for Beverly. Going straight to the goaltender. And it's actually Connor Connolly who's the goalie for Beverly today.
That was a smart strategy, kicking it over to the goaltender, because there were way too many players surrounding him, and he knew that, so he had to give it over to the goaltender to get it out of there quick.
And Beverly with the ball right out of their own end. Swampscott showing some great defense as they're trying to keep it in Beverly's territory. And with that, it's going to be Arendono trying to keep it in, making it go farther down into Beverly territory. Sawson chasing the ball. Goes straight over to Asipenko. Over to Sawson. Saved by Connolly for Beverly.
So close yet so far to our first goal of the game. It seems as if some of the Beverly players were able to outrun our Swampscott players.
And it's going to be Connolly with the kick. Straight over to Asipenko. That is going to be Spelios with the ball for Swampscott. Pass over to Shub is successful. Over to Bailey. Bailey with the pass over to Kimbrough. Kimbrough goes down but is able to get it away. Gets it straight over to Asipenko. That's going to be number 22. I'm not sure if we have number 22 on the roster for Swampscott, but it's going to go into Arendono. Over to Bailey. Bailey over to Croft, to Shub. Croft with the save to keeping it in for Swampscott. And it's going to be Baraka with the heavy kick for Beverly. And it's going to be Shub.
It's going to end up going over the fence and into the baseball field where they are actually practicing right now.
I believe that kick was a double. with that, Beverly with the throw-in. Still a tied game after all these minutes. Beverly keeping the ball in Swampscott's territory. Beverly with the high pop-up. And with that, just hearing the coach for Swampscott say, let it roll and let it go, it's going to be Swampscott's ball in their own end. As we're a little bit over the 25th minute mark of this half, as the ball goes over to Spelios. Spelios with a heavy kick and a high pop-up from Beverly. And it's Wabno trying to rush for the ball. Gets it past. They're fighting for it. Perry gets it out of the zone for Beverly. As a pass over to Naglia. And with that, it's another pass over to Baraka. As it goes over to Gangi, trying to fight for the ball, going into Swampscott's zone and gets poked out. Whistle is blown. Beverly's going to have a throw-in. As so far, it's a scoreless game. And with that, Beverly with the throw-in. Goes off the back of a Swampscott player. Gets almost out of the zone. And it's Olberg with the save. Jumps up and catches it before a Beverly player can headbutt it into the net.
Very close goal there. Lucky for Olberg, he was able to save it.
And with that, a pass over to Kimbrough, over to Wabno, over to Asipenko, to Arendono, over to Spelios. Spelios with the ball now. Spelios with the pass over to Asipenko. Over to Asipenko. Taken away by Beverly. Over to Barakna. Another high kick, a headbutt from Olberg. Beverly with an attempted headbutt to get it in more into the zone. Gets headbutted by Shub. And a far kick going out on Swampscott. Beverly with the throw-in. Beverly with the throw and gets kicked right out of bounds. Swampscott has possession of the ball. And it's Spelios with the throw in. Over to Shub. Beverly with the ball now. Shub steals it back for Swampscott. As it's a pass over to Bailey. Bailey with the pass goes out of bounds. Beverly has the ball. Beverly still with possession of the ball in Swampscott's own end. Still, both teams are trying to find their first goal of the game. As Beverly kicks it down more into Swampscott territory. Tripped up. Swampscott has the ball.
Instead of a throw, we're going to be seeing a kick in here from Swampscott. As the teams take their positions over down on the side of Beverly, we're going to be seeing something short of a possible goal here, but Beverly is going to deny that completely.
And with that, Swampscott trying to keep the ball in Beverly's territory. As the ball kicks way down over to Olberg, where he's going to pick it up and give it right back over to Spelios. Spelios with the far kick over to Shub. Shub over to Bailey. Bailey has the ball. Bailey over to Sawson. He's That's actually going to be over to Pittman. Over to Tierney. Whistle's blown, tripped up. Beverly has the ball as we're a little under the 10 minutes, as we're a little 10 minutes away from the half. Still a scoreless game from both sides. And with that, a pass over to Barranca. Over to Tenaglia. Swampscott trying to get the ball back. Goes off of Kimbrough's leg. A headbutt by Bailey. Kicked farther in the zone by Beverly. And Shub with the ball back over to Spelios. Spelios with the heavy kick. Goes straight over to Beverly. Over to Rodkey. Rodkey with the pass over to Connolly. And with that, it's going over to Bailey. Bailey with the pass over to Wabno. Gets it stolen. Gets kicked far into Swampscott's end. And with that, Saugus is gonna, Beverly, as I'm gonna keep on messing up these names for the rest of the half. Beverly will have the ball in Swampscott's territory as we're winding down with a little over 7 minutes left in the half. Ball goes out of bounds on Swampscott. Beverly still has the ball in Swampscott's own end. And with that, Beverly with the throw-in. Goes off of a Beverly player's leg. Swampscott has the ball with the pass over to Kimbrough. Going over to Wabno. Back over to Kimbrough. Goes out of play off of Beverly. Swampscott still has the ball. A great header from Wabno. Gets it stolen by Beverly. Arendono brings it right back for Swampscott. Goes right back into Swampscott's own end by Beverly. Spelios with the ball. Spelios with a heavy kick over to Wabno. Ball is going back to Beverly.
Seems as if Beverly's going to be having something short of a free kick here.
And it's going to be a long kick over to Gates. Gates in, a pass back over to Gangi. And a far kick goes nowhere but over to Spelios. And it's going to go back to Beverly, gets it kicked out from Swampscott. It's going to be number 22 for Swampscott, as we don't have a name for number 22 on the roster. Passed over to Harrington. Whistle is blown. Swampscott keeps the ball. It's going to be Spelios with the kick. And Bailey with the return header from Beverly. Shoup fighting for the ball. Gets it poked away, goes straight over to Arendono. Arendono with a heavy kick, trying to get it out of the zone into Beverly's territory. Fighting for right at center field. And it's going to be Pitt Magilio trying to get it down into Swampscott's goal, unsuccessful. As it goes over to Shub. Shub with a pass over to Arendono. Over to Ramos. Taken right back. Passed over to 22 for Swampscott. Over to Kimbrough. Ball goes out of bounds, and Beverly will have the ball. Little over 4 minutes left here in the half. Still a scoreless game as Beverly tries to get the ball out of their own end. But Shub has the ball for Swampscott. Brings it back over by the 50. Spelios with the ball. Pass over to 22. Back to Spelios. Spelios with a heavy kick over to Kimbrough. And with a kick like that from Beverly, goes out of bounds. Swampscott has the ball. Swampscott with the throw in. And with that, it's going to go over to Bailey. Excuse me, that is actually going to be Zessig. And a heavy kick from Beverly, but Olberg returns the favor with another kick, getting it out of the zone. Off the head of Kimbrough. Taken back to Beverly. And it's going to be going over to 22, taken away by 22 for Swampscott. Over to Shub. Poked away by Beverly. And with that, it's going to be saved by Kimbrough. Excuse me, that's actually going to be Pittman. Saved by Pittman for Swampscott. Pass over to Shub. Over to Kimbrough. Over to Arendono. Over to Spelios. Nope, with the pass over to 22. Off the head, it goes in more into Beverly territory. Almost there to take it away is Zessig, but is kicked away by Beverly. Spelios with the ball. Passed over to Shub. 2.5 minutes left in this first half. Still 0-0. 22 back over to Shub. Over to Arendono. Arendono with the ball. Gets it poked away by Beverly. Beverly with possession of the ball at midfield. Fighting for the ball is Ramos. Whistle is blown. Swampscott gets the ball back as it's holding.
Seems as if this is a setup for another one of those free kicks. As the players from both Swampscott and Beverly will begin to take their positions, we could be seeing a possibility of the first goal of the game here.
And it's going to be Spelios carrying out the kick. Spelios, a heavy boot down towards Beverly's end. Over to Arendono. Whistle is blown. And with that, the final 2 minutes. Beverly with the ball. And with that, a heavy boot. Still in play by Simon Ramos. Ball goes actually out of bounds by Zessig. Beverly with the ball in their own end. Beverly still trying to keep the ball out of their own end. Spelios with the ball for Swampscott. Over to Simon Ramos. My mistake. Zessig with the ball. Goes back over to Ramos. Over to Pittman. Pittman back over to Zessig. Pittman with the ball and nearing the zone. Goes for it. Save by Connor Connolly for Beverly.
That was a very close goal there that we could have actually seen there from Connolly. I mean, unless Connolly did something that could have presented the goal for Swampscott.
Connolly is the goaltender for Beverly. And with that, Beverly with the ball on Swampscott's own end. Gets it poked away by, as the ball goes back into Swampscott's end. Ball goes off of Beverly. Swampscott has the ball nearing their own territory.
Seems as if Beverly is actually going to have the ball. They're going to be going for a corner kick.
You know that Beverly is going to have their third attempt. And with that, it's going to be unsuccessful. And with that, it's going to be end of the first half. A scoreless game, but very action-packed. As with that, we're going to have a 10-minute break here. But also, while we have you here, make sure to subscribe at Swampscott Big Blue Athletics so you never miss a live stream. And to be notified when we are going live, follow our Instagram at Swampscott_TV.
And welcome back after the first half time. That is going to be a 10-minute halftime. We're going to get right into it as Simon Ramos is going to be holding the ball. We're going to be seeing Beverly get it almost immediately. As you can see, multiple headers here as it's going to make its way over to Sasson and back to Beverly in just a quick second. Still, Beverly is going to continue to hold it as we're going to be seeing Perry here hit the ball over to his teammate, Beatty. Sorry if I'm pronouncing that name wrong. We're going to be seeing Sasson follow these players all around the field as we're going to be seeing a far kick here from Merritt up to his teammates. Eventually, we're going to be seeing here hold it. It's going to be Daniel Silva. And that is going to be a far up kick from him there as Swampscott is going to bounce back immediately, but it's going to end up yet again in the hands of Perry, or should I say legs. As now we're going to be seeing Sullivan try to take charge with the ball, but this is going to end up rolling out, and it is going to be a Swampscott throw-in here from Croft. Seems as if he has decided to kick it instead. Seemed to be a throw-in, but this is actually a kick-in. I still don't know the technical term for that, but I'll probably figure it out eventually, as we're going to be seeing a header here from Perry as it's accidentally going to go over to Arredondo, sorry. And we're going to be seeing all the way on the other side of the field, we're going to be seeing Henry Ramos try to guard off against many players as it's going to end up in the legs of Daniel Silva. As we're going to be seeing seems as if a throw-in is also going to go out again, and Swampscott's going to throw it in, and it's going to end up with Arredondo. Seems as if it's just back and forth around the same mark of yards. They're barely going anywhere here with Swampscott as it's going to make its way over to Simon Ramos. It's going to be stolen by Pitta Magil. Here, wait, Josh, I might need a little help saying this. It's number 15. It's Pitta Miglio?
Yeah, I believe it is Pit Miglio.
Okay, we need to make sure I had it right with the professional and all. And we're going to be seeing Sullivan here take charge. He's going to pass it over to his teammate, who is going to immediately be passing it from Roberts all the way down, and we can be seeing here with Berganca. As it's going to be making its way up, we have Silva here at the front as the goalie's going to fall over. And a whistle is going to be blown. Ulberg there almost got the save, but just not quite.
And as it appears, the referee has pulled out a yellow card. I'm not sure who on. I believe it was Ulberg.
That yellow card was actually on Daniel Silva. Ulberg was the one that got yellow carded. We're going to be seeing a kick here from Beverly. I almost said Saugus there.
As we almost both messed up today.
Yeah. You're rubbing off on me, Josh. As we're going to be seeing Ulberg trade jerseys. That's why we're waiting for such a long time here.
Wait, what's happening?
So far, the most nerve-wracking thing we've seen so far is almost one of our cameras be knocked off the roof.
That is true, and also we have some computers in here, and that was almost broken as the ball almost did come flying through our window.
Definitely talking about needling the thread
Josh.
there.
Sorry there, Josh. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but you can definitely hear some of the people in the stands confused as to what's going on right now. Seeing as how we haven't had anything similar to this long of a wait yet.
Bro, this is like...
And we're going to be seeing Beverly here now. I'm pretty sure the play is starting
All
up.
right, come on, Malone, get that on, bro.
And I believe the backup goaltender for Ulberg right now is going to be Malad Sasson.
They've traded one of their or they've repositioned one of their players. And it's going to be a 3-point field goal here. Oh, wait, we're playing soccer. But yes, it does seem as if the midfielder, Malad Sasson, is now going to be playing goalie.
As I believe he's going to be going back off and being a midfielder as Ulberg goes back into the net.
It was only a repositioning for that one little kick that we saw there, but yes, that is correct. Ulberg will be returning to net as Malad Sasson takes off his jersey, his yellow penny, as they call it, and he's going to be returning it to his coach.
And with that little football joke there, Joey, don't worry, as this coming Friday, Swampscott football is back here at Bloxage Field. 7 o'clock is kickoff, and I believe it's going to be against Saugus Sachems.
Speaking of other sports, I'm pretty sure on Tuesday we have girls soccer, and on Thursday we have soccer yet again and field hockey. But we are going to be getting back here. We're going to be seeing Sullivan take charge with the ball yet again, passing it over to Beatty. And it is going to go out. That is going to be Swampscott's ball. Never mind, I was wrong there as Josh had corrected me. It was still in, but it had just hit the fence. So the goalie was going to take charge of the ball, and he was going to kick it very high, as we just saw O'Neill head it. It almost ended back with O'Neill again, but we're going to be seeing Swampscott here as Shub is going to be making his way up as he passes over to Croft. Almost through the legs there of O'Neill. But O'Neill's going to be passing over to Braganca. Now on the other side of the field completely, as we can see Merritt taking the ball. Standing on the sideline, he's going to pass it over to Harrington. As it goes close to going out, we're going to be actually seeing Harrington again with the ball quickly, as that was a very close shot on goal there. Ulberg saved it from the wrath of Pitamiglio. Sorry, that was O'Neill. As he's going to be punting it very far, Ulberg. The ball is actually going to do in Swampscott's favor and end up with a header from Wabno, with the whistle is going to be blown. Going to be a Swampscott throw-in. I am standing corrected, as it's going to be a Beverly kick-in, as the whistle is going to be blown yet again about 3 times before they change their mind. We're going to be seeing immediately back here, we're going to be seeing Sullivan. He's going to be taking it. He's going to be passing it immediately over to Beatty. It's going to end up making its way to Braganca yet again, as we're going to be seeing him pass over to Roberts, who's going to be passing over to Perry, as Perry's going to be able to kick it far to O'Neill and make it all the way up there with Sullivan, as it was yet a close goal. As the whistle's going to be blown, Ulberg, the goalie, is going to be taking the ball.
Beverly had the Russian try to get a goal short-handedly, but unsuccessful, as it goes a little bit farther than expected as Swampscott returns the ball in their own favor.
It did indeed go just a little bit left of the goal. That could have been really close there if Ulberg had ran out of the goal. As we're going to be ending up with O'Neill, who's going to be passing it over to Perry, who's going to be ending up the ball with Beatty yet again, as we're going to be seeing Sullivan take it back to Beatty and then over yet again to Merritt. Ball's going all over the place in this small little concession stand we have here. And it's going to go out, and it's going to be a throw-in from Beverly here. We just saw Beatty throw it in. It's going to be down in Swampscott territory very far, as we're going to be seeing another Beverly throw-in. This time it's going to be from Sullivan. Never mind, it's going to be Beatty yet again. that could have proven to be very good there if Beatty were to actually have some teammates that would set him up for a goal there with his throw-in. It seems as if that throw-in was futile, as it did not work in favor of Beverly. It ended up working in favor of Swampscott, as now Olberg has possession of the ball at the goal. And it's up. And it's going to end up right with our Swampscott player, Arredondo, as now he's going to pass it over to Shub, and yet again, back to Arredondo. He's going to be passing it up. He's going to be making it far here with Kimbrough. It is going to end up rolling out, and I'm pretty sure we're going to be able to see a throw in here from Beverly. I was correct. And a whistle was blown, as we saw Braganca almost steal the ball there from Arredondo. But now we're going to be seeing Beatty with the ball, who's going to actually get it kicked away from him, and it's going to end up with Perry. As Perry's going to pass over to Roberts, it's going to be making its way all the way to the sideline with both teams. We're going to be seeing Beverly try hard to defend here, as the ball's going to end up with Harrington. Now it's going to be in the feet of Sullivan, as he's going to pass and accidentally give it back to Swampscott, as the ball is going to actually be, it's just going back and forth in the air right now from 30 to 30. Very close to the goal now. We have Beverly here with many chances to set up something short of the first goal of the game, as it's going to get closer than expected from Swampscott. We're going to be seeing Croft tried his best to kick it out, which he did successfully, but it did end up returning, as we're going to be seeing Arredondo fight off against 3 different players just to get it here. As we're seeing Beatty pass it over to Wilder, as he's going to be making his way up, but he's been successfully blocked by Croft, as the ball is going to roll out, and it's going to be a throw in here. It's going to be Beatty throwing it in.
Still, both teams looking for their first goal of the game in the second half.
As it proved yet again to be futile, Beatty accidentally threw it to Swampscott, as Wilder now has possession. Wilder tries to pass it over to Chubb, but it is knocked out of his legs by O'Neal. As we're going to be seeing Kimbrough steal the ball back, as he's going to pass it back over to Henry Ramos, now here with Arredondo. We could be seeing something special here if Swampscott could make it any closer to Beverly, seeing as if how their defense has been immaculate. Their goalie isn't even in goal on the sideline for quite some time now. And now that it is out, we're going to be seeing Ramos, Simon Ramos specifically, with this ball. As we're going to be seeing O'Neal kick it very far up, as they just aren't going to catch it. So close yet so far there from Wilder, or Wilder, sorry for pronouncing that wrong. We are going to be seeing a throw in here from Swampscott. And as it goes off, we're going to be seeing Simon Ramos take the ball for just a second before the whistle gets blown. They're going to be redoing it, as Ramos is yet again going to be taking the ball and kicking it up. We're going to be seeing Braganca take charge, as he's going to lose the ball, and we're going to be seeing now, Arredondo with the ball. This ball's going all over the place. As we can see on the sideline, we just saw one of the Beverly players kick it up, as Malad Sasson tried his hardest to hit the ball with his head. Sorry there, I started stumbling on my words. As it seems as if we're going to be seeing just a normal play here, as Croft is going to be taking charge of the ball. Going to probably kick it very far. We're going to be expecting something close range, such as only passing over to Ramos, but he's going to do the exact opposite of that and rocket it all the way over to Arredondo. Unfortunately, Arredondo could not catch it because Berganca was there waiting for him and hit him with a nasty chest move. It's going to be over to the sideline now. We have La Crinola as it's going to be making its way very far. It's all the way over for the first time on Beverly's side here. We have Sasson who headed it. It's going to be making its way, almost passing to the ref as it seems. We have Arredondo with the ball being guarded by multiple players as he passes it over to Croft, who Croft is going to pass it over to number 21, Shub. That's going to be very close to the goal now. Yet another field goal. That's another 3 points on the board here. This time for Swampscott. That was a very close goal, but it was unfortunately saved for Swampscott. Unfortunately, it was unfortunately saved by Isaac Sass, and it hit the crossbar up top on the field goal, making it impossible for the ball to come back down and give a chance yet again to Swampscott. That was a corner kick from Swampscott. It's going to be saved by multiple players. It was very hard to tell, seeing as how someone kicked it out. Swampscott's going to be trying to get the ball just as close as they can there, as we're going to be seeing Arredondo here. He just hit it with a header. Didn't do much, as Croft is now going to be taking charge of the ball, passing it over, but it's going to be taken away. Multiple just back and forth passes here from both Beverly and Swampscott that have been a hit and miss. But we're going to be seeing a chance here from, never mind, I was about to say a chance here from Pitamiglio. Sorry if I'm saying that wrong, Pitamiglio. Sorry, that was Pitamiglio. As we're going to be seeing number 21 take charge, we have Roberts here in the corner. As it's going to be just complete back and forth with Arredondo over there, as we're going to be seeing a throw-in. This is a very close game, if you didn't tell by just looking at the bottom of your screens and checking the score. The amount of score we've had this game is just tremendously huge. It actually has been a very eventful game, though, as Olberg is going to be taking the ball. I'm just extremely surprised that no team has scored a goal yet.
They still got about 23 minutes left until the end. And if nobody scores in the time of regulations, they still have overtime.
That is correct. As you can see, many of the players dripping with sweat and wiping their faces. As Sasson's going to take the ball. He's going to throw it in. Never mind, he's going to give it over to Croft. He's going to throw it in. He's going to try his best to give it to Kimbrough, but he succeeded for half a second and then failed, as a whistle is going to be blown.
A bunch of Beverly parents don't seem very happy with that call.
Well, each team is biased, so you'll be able to also hear some of the people in Swampscott also being unhappy with calls on them. They are rooting for their own town, of course. But we're now going to be seeing Croft take the ball after a pass from Shub. That's going to be making very close to Beverly as, oh no, there we had Kimbrough. Kimbrough just wasn't able to compete with the jump height of La Crinola. As it's going to be yet again in the corner over there with both Arredondo and it seems as if, yeah, Arredondo and Shub. The ball is going to be making its way over into Swampscott territory yet again, but no way, Jose. We're going to be seeing here from Bailey as he's going to kick it back into Beverly, but Beverly is going to hit him with a reverse and put it back in their territory. Seeing as how Beverly is able to keep up with Swampscott right now. We might be seeing that was a nice shot on goal. Maybe if he was a little closer, he could have got it, but I think a 20-yarder was a little bit too easy to see there. As Olberg catches it, he's going to be throwing it over to Croft. Croft is going to be hitting a long pass all the way over to Wabno. Whistle bloom. Beverly is going to be taking the ball. And it is off here with Shub kicking it all the way over there. Swampscott, it got close to their goal, but they're going to be taking it away here as it's going to eventually end up with Arredondo with multiple players chasing him, such as O'Neal and Beatty. Making it all the way back there with Wabno. As it's going to be, it was out on Swampscott as we're going to be seeing a kick in here from, yet again, I do believe the same player, Roberts. Now, Swampscott is yet again going to be taking charge, making it over to their side as Shub is going to be trying to kick it, but Shub ultimately was not able to do anything with that as he either missed his teammates or had no one to pass it to while he was being blocked from every side. So Isaac Sass is going to be picking up that ball. It seems as if I just learned some information from one of my friends here. He's stuck when the referee sticks his hand up in the air. We're able to tell that that's a sign that one of the players was offsides. And we're going to be seeing Croft here make his way up. Both number 8s are going at it right now. Beatty and Croft right up against the edge of everything. A very hard kick there from Sasson as we're going to be seeing a header, which is going to be proven futile, as it's going to be making its way back to the 50-yard line with another offsides call. Seems as if that offsides call was on Beverly, as Swampscott's going to be making a kick in. Wouldn't it just be crazy, Josh, if this ball were to just go in the goal?
And with that, it looks like it will, and it goes in! With Joey, you are the mind reader tonight. Swampscott finally with their first goal of the game.
That was a very hard to tell goal, if I'm going to be completely honest. Let's watch that replay.
It goes off of Spelios' foot, off the head, and then bounces in.
It was very hard to tell, but I think, if I am right or wrong, I do believe
and with that, Swampscott finally with the first goal of the game after 1 and almost 2 full periods.
I do believe that that goal was scored by Arredondo. I'm pretty sure of that. We're going to be having an inside source confirm that momentarily, as we just saw a throw-in here from Swampscott, as it's going to be O'Neal with the ball taking it. And Olberg is going to save it after going down with one of the Beverly players. It's going to be getting a little bit heated over there, as multiple calls from the ref are being called. A call was on Beverly, as we're going to be seeing Olberg take the ball with an absolute boot. We just saw Arredondo hit it with a header, which is going to be proven yet again futile, as we saw Beverly be able to kick it back, as Sasson is going to be taking that ball there. He's going to kick it back, yet multiple headers we see, almost 3 in a row, as now we're going to be here with Zizek.
And as Inside Resources find out, the goal is made by
James Kimbrough. James Kimbrough is the first goal of the game, which was very nice. Sorry it took so long to figure out, but we are going to be back here with Sasson and Chubb unable to block Wilder.
And with that, Joey, I don't think anybody's going to be able to block that as it goes back into the stands for the second time this game.
The second time this game, at least it wasn't as
close to our equipment as last
close
time.
to our equipment. As we're going to be seeing it very close to Swampscott, we can see a corner kick here from Roberts.
Ball is kicked out of the zone, picked up back by Beverly.
We're going to be seeing it almost end up going out here, but all the way over by Swampscott's net. It is going to be not saved, and we're going to be seeing Roberts throw it in yet again. Unless this is a corner kick, it's a throw-in. We're going to be seeing Roberts throw it in just a second here. Warming up for the throw, he's moving his arms. Got to get ready for it. Thank you. And we have a shot very close there from Beverly. And they have a chance here again, an opportunity away. But
Opportunity is denied.
Opportunity was denied, correct. As Swampscott's going to be kicking it out, specifically Croft, making it all the way go back to the 20-yard line. We're going to be seeing a shot here, and that's a 6 points now. That's 6 points now for the field. Okay.
With that, ball goes a little bit overhead.
We're going to be seeing a corner kick.
Beverly with their 7th or 8th, I believe.
Ball got so close to rolling in. It seems as if there is an upset in the stands right now from Beverly, as Olberg just barely saved it. Very close opportunity yet again from Beverly, as you can hear the stands yelling just to get it in, as we're going to be seeing Henry Ramos take the ball for a second as a whistle's blown. As a foul, or something short of that, is a free kick there. As it's going to be ending up back into Swampscott's arms, as we just saw Zizek kick it over to Arredondo. Now we have Henry Ramos kick it very, very far, as we're going to be seeing the goalie, Isaac Sass, take it. He's going to be either punting or throwing it. I'm going to assume a punt. It's a throw. That was a very nice throw there, all the way over to Roberts. They're going to be making their way up here. Beverly, as O'Neill's going to be almost taking the ball, but Simon Ramos is going to kick it out, which is due for a corner kick. This could yet again be an attempt for Beverly to make it in, as the stands don't seem too excited, as only a few people are cheering for this goal, as it's going to be a fail. And it's going to end up back with Roberts yet again, as it's going to be another corner kick here, it seems as it's going to go out on Bailey. specifically from a chest bump. Yet another attempt for a goal as it's going to go way over. And we're going to be seeing Spelios take charge here with the ball. It's going to go back to Olberg. He's going to catch it perfectly, as he is going to be punting this ball very far here as it reaches about the 55-yard line before being stopped by Berganca. We're going to be seeing Swampscott take action yet again as Henry Ramos is going to be passing it over to Max Arredondo, who's going to pass it back to Milad Sasson, make it all the way up, and eventually make its way to James Kimbrough. Beverly there had a throw in, it seems, as we're going to be seeing Zizek try his hardest to get the ball stripped away from them. But yet again, we're going to be seeing something very far of a kick, as we just saw Wilder pass it all the way over. And it's now going to end up back in around the midfield area. And now we see Henry Ramos trying his hardest to fight against the ball here, against both O'Neal and Wilder.
And Beverly parents are getting mad as it was called offsides. Hearing one of the parents yell, "Stay on sides," as we're going to have Croft with the kick.
Thank you for that, Josh. I didn't even notice a play was called. I was a little bit distracted by reading all the players' names. Thank you then.
And it's Arredondo, and the kick goes way far out.
It is going to be something similar to what appears to be a corner kick for Swampscott. I think Henry Ramos is not taking charge of this. Henry Ramos did not take charge of that. That was Max Arredondo. As a very close goal there for Swampscott as it was saved. We're going to be seeing back here, almost in the corner yet again, we have multiple players. We have Wilder in a quick little battle there for the ball. Shub was able to win that quick little wit battle of kicking the ball just around and kick it out of there. We're going to be taking a short intermission here. And we're going to be back after that short intermission with Beverly going to be holding the ball. They're going to be kicking here. That was Perry. Going to be kicking far, and it's going to end up with Swampscott yet again, as we're going to be seeing Shub try to make it over to Arredondo, but it's going to be unsuccessful, as Arredondo was actually now going to be taking the ball after Beverly had kicked it, but Arredondo got it stolen yet again. And we're going to be seeing here, back over on Swampscott's side, we're going to be seeing James Kimbrough try to get the ball as it's going to be going away from him, and it's actually going to be taken charge by George Spelios. It is now an offsides, and it's going to be Beverly kicking this ball. It's a short kick over to Beatty. who's going to be kicking it very far up, all the way to his teammate, Wilder. Wilder was able to make something short of a play there and get it over to his teammates, but Swampscott's going to be able to get it out over to Max Hasapenko. That's going to be going out. And we're going to be seeing a throw-in, I do believe, here from Swampscott. We have either Spelios or Croft over there. That was Spelios. He threw it over to his teammate Shub. So close to going out yet again, but it's not going to go out. It's going to end up with Pittman. I do believe it ended up going out as Spelios is going to do another quick throw-in as a missed header there for Arredondo. It's going to be over by Beverly's side. This may or may not, this is going to be a throw-in for Beverly. Josh, seeing as how there's only 10 minutes left of this game, well, around 9. I'm just going to say there's around 9 minutes left of this game with only one goal being Swampscott. How do you think the rest of this game will be going?
Honestly, Swampscott just got to keep locking down on the defense. Beverly trying to get still their first goal on the board. But mostly Swampscott just got to keep on with that defense. Other than that, they would be spot on.
This is very similar to the girls' soccer game that happened a week or two ago where they got 0-1 by St. Mary's. A similar situation might be happening here if Beverly can't find a way to score a goal soon. But it is going to be a Swampscott throw-in, I do believe. Actually, it seems as if it's looking up to be a throw-in from, that was Spelios. As he's going to throw it in, and it's going to make its way over to Kimbrough, who's going to be kicking it far as a whistle is going to be blown. It is going to be Beverly there with the ball with a header from Berganga. As we're going to be seeing here, we see Merritt with the ball. Never mind, as there's going to be a whistle blown, and Arredondo's going to take the ball for a long kick. Is this another one that's going to go in, perhaps? That is going to be a no, as Croft accidentally hit it with his head and made it go behind the goal. And we're back after the goalie just threw it over there with basically 7 minutes left. We can see here as Swampscott Spelios is going to be trying to kick it away as it's going to go into the legs of Merritt. And this is something short of a throw-in, I do believe. Some of the calls are very confusing, as that previous call just a moment ago before the goalie threw it in seemed to be an offsides call, but it apparently was not, as an offsides call does lead to a kick around middle field. So we're going to be seeing Arredondo pass it over to many of his teammates, as now we're going to be seeing Shub take it, who's going to be passing it over to Croft. Croft is going to be able to make it through multiple defenders with a juke and a spin move. That was quite miraculous there from Shub. I'm sorry, I meant Croft. As we're actually now going to be seeing Kimbrough up here with Shub, who's going to be taking that header. And now we have Arredondo, who's going to pass it very far up, but it's going to unintentionally be caught by Perry. Not with his hands, but with his head. It's going to be kicked and passed all the way down to Wilder, who passed it all the way to the other side of the field with his team. And it's going to eventually make its way back to Kimbrough, who's going to kick it very, very far. As we now see Wabno trying to get to the ball, but it's going to be unfortunately a no there, as Reese Connolly's going to be taking it here. Lod Sasson with the block and the steal, getting able to make it over all the way back to Beverly's side yet again, as Wabno's running like a madman for that. And now we're going to be back here with Arredondo, and a whistle is going to be blown, but it seems as if nothing's going to be carried out here. Now it's going to be carried out here. This is going to be a yellow card here. This is either for Beverly or Swampscott. That was on Swampscott's very own Arredondo. That's not good for Swampscott, seeing as how Arredondo did contribute to that first goal. Losing a player in general is not good, but it seems as if something short of a timeout was just called. The teams are going to be returning back to their coaches and such as we enter the final 5 minutes. And we'll be back with you momentarily. And we are going to be back, and these last 5 minutes are calculated by the refs themselves as they count it. We're going to be seeing a kickoff here from Perry as he's going to be kicking it very far. Swampscott, and a whistle blown. Swampscott will end up with the ball. He's going to kick it far to his teammate, almost at Malad Sasson, but it was taken by one of the Beverly players. His ego is notoriously by the name Brandon Rodkey. Ball is going to go out. And we're going to be seeing, I'm pretty sure that's Croft over there taking that. Croft is going to be giving it to Olberg. Sorry, that was George Spelios giving it to Olberg. That was going to go very far, and it's going to make its way back to Wabno almost, which was the intended target. And it eventually did make its way back to Wabno, but only for a split second after Arredondo kicked it. Into the stands, we have yet another ball. That one was probably the farthest away from us and our equipment yet.
And most likely the safest kick they ever done.
As they get so close to the goal, Oldberg is going to save it. It just seems as if Beverly just can't find an opportunity in which they have multiple players near the goal for a play to set up and an opportunity in which Oldberg isn't in the goal itself.
And with that, Oldberg this game alone has saved about 15 to 21 goals.
15 to 21 goals is a humongous number. I believe someone will probably fact check that if they do watch this. But I'm going to believe you for now because it seems as if that is probably true with the amount of times I've seen Oldberg hold that ball. As a close shot on goal here, which really wasn't a shot on goal. It was O'Neal passing to his teammates for a shot on goal, hopefully, as we see 4 headers in a row. And it seems as if we could be seeing Swampscott with the ball, seeing as the way the players are facing. Never mind, it was a throw-in. Close to a goal here, very close. It goes off the top. That was insane. It went off the
Crossbar.
bar at the crossbar at the top. Thank you there, Josh. As Arredondo takes it, and a whistle is blown. Whistle's going to be blown on O'Neal and Costa Shub. Costa Shub, sorry, I said it wrong. Very close. It's not going to go in. All these opportunities are just not met by Beverly. All these requirements to score a goal aren't met, it seems, as if they've gone very close to the side of the goal about 8 times almost. Or that's probably a hyperbole, but it's just a big number of times they've gone very close to the goal and haven't gotten it in, as we're going to be seeing the ball go sky high with a header that's going to be making its way over to Connolly, Reese Connolly specifically. As O'Neal is going to be taking the ball. It's going to go through the legs of a few players and a shot on goal, but it seems as if Oldberg is just too on game. Seems as if he's locked in on the ball. He has not taken his eyes off it for 1 second this whole game, as Wobno is going to be almost receiving the ball, the intended target, but it's going to go out. It's going to go out. It is the end of the game, and Swampscott is going to be winning with the only goal of the game scored by James Kimbrough. And that is going to be Big Blue winning 1-0 against Beverly.
Definitely a great performance by Swampscott and Beverly. Beverly trying their hardest in the final minutes to get a goal, having the opportunity there but getting denied by the crossbar.
That was actually insane, because if that didn't hit the crossbar, Oldberg would not have saved it based on how high it was and how high I saw him jump, which would have meant that we indefinitely would have went into overtime. But it seems as if this is the end of the game here today, folks.
That is definitely one of the greatest outcomes for Swampscott in the soccer match today. And with that, we say goodbye. I'm Josh Harriman. He's Joseph Blood. And we'll see you next week for Field Hockey.
Make sure to check us out on Instagram at Swampscott_TV. And make sure to like and subscribe, seeing as how you cannot comment. Make sure to tell your friends about us and try to watch us as many times as you can. If you need any news, it'll be on the Instagram as aforementioned. Thank you and goodbye.